Good evening, my name is Alejandro Gomez. I'm your host. We all know how the technology is improving our environment. Since the fourth industrial revolution, the technology has been part of our daily life. The main advances of this revolution broke the cyber-physical systems such as internet and telecommunications. Moore, that is a person that is so recognized because of their law, have a PhD in physics and chemistry. He creates a law that is called Moore law. Moore law claims that Mulo claims that every 2 years the number of transistors that exist inside of an integrated system increases. One means that the machines become more and more powerful with time. This entails that the advances in technology increases exponentially every 2 years. Nowadays, the technology has grown at the point that we can interact with that. For instance, artificial intelligence or AI and neuroscience. The artificial intelligence have helped us to drive our cars by their own, make our phones smarter, and even edit our genetic codes. But should technology or robots managed by AI be used in medicine to diagnose patients during doctor's appointment? Today we have two experts in this topic. First, Santiago Rivadeneira, that have a PhD in Buscaminas and another in Pinto Caritas, and Oscar Tomas Rodriguez, that have a PhD in slime and a master in origami.
Good evening, Alejandro. It's a pleasure to me to be here with you and this group of scientists discussing and presenting our opinions about this polemic topic.
Good evening, Alejandro and Oscar. I'm very glad to be here sharing my opinions and ideas with you and with the audience.
Okay, first, we must analyze our current society. The automation has taken an important role in many industries and now is knocking in our door. It wouldn't be unexpected that soon robots and humans will interact each other. The second thing to think about is that robots are made to improve efficiency, which is so appreciated in all aspects. Certain entrepreneurs suggested that medical professions might or should be automated.
Santiago, do you have something to say about it?
Well, I partially agree with Thomas. I know efficiency is such an codified aspect in our life. That is true, but we cannot let the process of automation replaces the way we interact with people. If we let that happen, our society, with the time, will lose the humanity. And
Are you out of your mind? Technology was made to make life processes easier. It might be your use that a medical appointment with a robot could be so efficient and the diagnosis of the patient were faster and even more detailed than the one that a patient can get from a real doctor.
well, those aspects are partially true. But the columnist of the Daily Telegraph claimed that machines could take over a wide of range of human daily assignments. But in my opinion, they might not have the empathy that has a real doctor. For example, at the moment of diagnose a patient with a terminal sickness, they will never have that something that makes humans special. Also, the risk of automation exists for almost every career or every profession. For example, firemen or priests, or well, except for the ones that requires empathy. For example, the ones that I just said. For example, firemen, doctors, or priests. Priests. Um,
You must have this in mind. The Dr. Santa Maria is a specialist in otorhinolaryngology. Claimed that robots provide advantage in complex surgeries due to their accuracy, which decrease the mistake percentage that exists in a normal medical process. In an hypothetical situation, If you had a prostate examination, would you choose a robot or a normal doctor to make the examination?
Wait,
Okay.
Um,
It sounds
wait.
okay.
Some researchers from the Oxford University claimed with an investigation that the risk of um, replacing doctors or firemen or any of those jobs that requires empathy has only the 20% of happening.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds interesting, guys. But moreover, it could be interesting to hear the opinion of an experimented person. In that order, tell me, Maria, how was your approach with these new methods?
Good evening, Dr. San Alejandro. Today I want to talk about my experience. It all start when I went to the doctor and because I had present tremors, discoordinations, and sometimes muscular stiffness. For that, doctors found that I had present a disease in my central nervous system. My mom told me that my grandfather had present a disease like the one that I was presenting. So after several analysis, the doctors didn't find a diagnosis for my disease. So I decided to travel to Spain and take part of an experiment where through a robot called Oscan can read my eye movement with a laser, and it permits that can detect that I had a congenital neurodegenerative disease. So the doctor says that this diagnosis is difficult, and even more when this disease is in this initial part. And thanks to the result and the analysis of the Oscan robot, doctors can say me that I had Parkinson, and for that, actually, I am taking a treatment with a lot of medicines to control the situation.
Okay, you have here both sides now. One side that we have perspective that includes analysis benefits for that brings automation with robots medicine. And on the other hand, we have one that claims for real interactions between humans during medical appointments. Which one would you choose? I'm Alejandro Gomez, and this was Disney Channel. See you next time in Clifford Show. Good evening to all. Good evening to all.